Hi, I'm Derek Fung, and in this video for betweentheaxles.com.au, we're taking a very quick look at the Ford Falcon G6E EcoBoost. Now, before we get on to the topic that everybody wants to get onto, and that's the turbocharged four-cylinder engine up the front of the car, let's just talk about the interior that I'm sitting in. It is easily the best interior fitted to an Australian-made vehicle ever, and that record probably won't be surpassed until 2014 when the Falcon is updated, probably for its final time ever. And part of the reason that this car has such a great interior is the leather that's fitted. Now, this is obviously a top-of-the-range vehicle, so there's soft, supple leather everywhere. And I know a lot of people don't really like light-colored interiors, especially this beige sand color, because it is a little bit hard to keep clean, and even in a week, it's strewn with leaves and a bit of dirt. But it makes the car feel like an interior of your house. And another aspect that really helps in this is that at night, the car is wonderfully lit. Not everything is sunshine, peaches, rainbows, and cups of tea, however. There are a few naff points. Obviously, the carbon fiber trim is very fake. The chrome elements, they're not really very metal at all. And the interior command center, which we'll do in a separate review, is actually pretty good, but it does have a few quirks. For instance, the windowed nav system is, well, it takes a little bit of getting used to. There's also the Bluetooth, which is very hard to access unless you realize that the phone button on the steering wheel is your only method of accessing that system. The nav system has a few quirks, but considering that the previous system required a really fiddly to use remote control and looked absolutely rubbish, it's a massive step forward. The core part of the interior command center is a large touchscreen display that's mounted high up on the Falcon's dashboard. Unfortunately, it's angled upwards, and if you're driving around in bright sunlight, of which there's a lot in Australia, especially morning, afternoon, it catches a lot of reflections. It's really hard to see. It's hard to see whether you're using it for the nav system, the air conditioning, the radio, or the reversing camera. And this is the system's major demerit point in our view. In terms of the driving experience, the G6E in EcoBoost form is pretty much as it is with the straight 6. It rides really well. It smooths out blots, but it doesn't completely hide them, and it's not floaty at all. You don't feel sick and nauseous. The steering wheel may be a little bit on the light side, but it may be one of the last cars that we ever drive new that actually has steering feedback. Oh my God, steering feedback. And in terms of its handling, the Falcon is actually pretty good. And part of the reason for that is not only that it corners flat, but it actually feels a lot smaller than it actually is. Now, maybe that's because the interior space efficiency in this car isn't quite as good as the Holden Commodore or even, say, a Toyota Camry. Now, 4.9 meters, this car is actually bigger than the Commodore. Unlike the Commodore, the A-pillars on this car, they're normal by modern standards, and it's a little bit hard to see. You have to look around, and the wing mirrors get a little bit in the way. But they're not massive chunkers that completely block people out at street corners. So how do we like this car? Well, we love being in it, but paying the price for it, especially considering this is the top-of-the-line G6E model, might be a little bit hard to stomach because it's missing a few tech features that, whilst not completely necessary, are kind of what you expect from a car in 2012, 2013. And that's things like keyless start, rain sensing wipers, bi-xenon headlights that swivel with the steering wheel, electric seats on the passenger side, heating and cooling elements, all those little things, they're completely missing from the Falcon. And hopefully they'll come around for the facelift, but we're talking about the here and now.